Boom. What is good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Fares and Muthana, and that's my co-pilot Adelia Chamberlain, and we are back with another episode of the Rally. It is our Grand Slam tennis podcast where us fans, just some fans, talk about tennis from a perspective of longing love from Adelia and newfound appreciation and love in my neck of the woods. Guys, it is Roland Garros. The first 3 rounds have been concluded. A couple of fourth-round matchups have played today, like Arena Sabalenka and Sloane Stevens. Elena Svitolina defeated Dara
Daria Kazakina.
Daria Kazakina, as well as Elise Mertens lost to that person. I'm not
Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova.
Yep, that's her. That's her. Big long-time listeners of the show know Ferris. Stinks at names. Not very good. Shout out to you, Matteo Berrettini. Love you, dog. Hope you're speedy recovery. Not Mario. His name is not Mario whatsoever.
His name is not Mario. No.
His name is not Mario. But on the note, guys, thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna go just quick overview thoughts of it. We're gonna talk about some stuff that we loved the past 3 rounds. Yesterday, me and Adelia watched the tail end of Tiafoe Zverev, which was a phenomenal match. Personally, I think Francis messed up, and but Adelia may disagree. I don't know. We tend to disagree on a lot, but that's perfectly fine as well as that. But the one thing me and Adelia don't disagree on is you should like and subscribe this video and this channel and hit that notification bell. Am I right, Adelia? We don't disagree on that whatsoever.
We do not disagree on that at all. We are so close to 100 subscribers here on this YouTube channel.
4.
Get us over the hump, people.
Yeah, get us over the hump. As well as we also agree that Justin has stuff to tell us, right? Justin does have stuff. Justin has a lot of stuff to tell us. Before we talk about Roland Garros and the tournament Rafa dominated for years. Yes, I will never go with the show without mentioning that man, even though he's not playing. I will be like Breakpoint, where he's the main star, even though he was never interviewed for that episode.
Yeah.
That was a great episode, by the way. But Justin, what can people do extra for support?
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Thank you to our supporters, our patrons. We appreciate everything. Everyone, we love you. Thank you guys so much for your support. But now, let's get right into it. Adelia, your initial thoughts on Roland Garros, the first 3 rounds.
I think Roland Garros has been really good so far. I mean, there have been some surprise upsets. The Brazilian kid beating Medvedev in the first round is the first thing that jumps to mind when it comes to a surprise upset. I didn't think Medvedev necessarily was going to win this tournament, but I did think he would get out of the first round. That didn't happen. There's been a ton of 5-setters on the men's side. Really, really competitive matches. It's been really good so far, Ferris. What about you? What do you think?
Same. A lot of epics. One of them involved Yannick Sinner. Big fan of Yannick. The Caratoas. That's carrot in Italian, I found out. The Carato boys. I think it's Carato. Sorry, it's Carato. Carato boys. Yannick Sinner's biggest fans, because he's a ginger.
Those are so funny.
No, he's not a ginger. His hair is orange. It's like Carrot Top. He lost to in a 5-set epic to Altmaier. I thought Altmaier was going to be the next champion of Roland Garros because apparently Yannick Sinner only loses to eventual champions at Roland Garros, but Altmaier ended up losing later on, I think. So that streak of Yannick only losing to future champions is done. Another match that actually, it's a span of 2 matches involving one man. Taylor Fritz shushing the crowd in the match prior to his match with Francisco
Trendolo.
He shushed the crowd, got a little contentious. Love it. We need more spice. Too much nice. We need more spice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need sports villains. Like I say, man, you need a villain. You need a villain in sports to take it over the top.
It's interesting to me that Taylor Fritz decided he was going to be the villain.
Yes.
That came, of course, in the second round match where he beat Arthur Rinderknecht. The last Frenchman standing.
Last French person, period.
Last French person, period. That's right, because Caroline Garcia had lost earlier that day as well. I do feel bad for the French crowd in that they don't have anybody in singles after the second round to cheer for. From a hometown perspective, obviously they're cheering for other players. But it was interesting to me that Taylor Fritz chose to become the villain. I just didn't think he had that in him. What did you think?
It was a bit corny.
Yeah,
it was a bit corny. When he did the silence motion, he didn't know how to do it properly. That he was like this. He kept hitting his mouth. He's got to be like this, and just keep it right there.
Yeah.
Or you do the Memphis Dempie thing and just stick your finger in your ear and be like, I can't hear your nonsense. You do that. It's much. Or you do this.
The most interesting thing about that to me was that he chose to do that and then realized he was going to be interviewed on court by, I believe it was Marion Bartoli.
Yes.
And so they just booed him out of the building. There's been a theme. There's usually a theme with the French crowds that they will boo people. They love to whistle people.
Good.
That's one of the things. I think that there are some people that have been booed and had whistles directed in their attention that didn't deserve it. Marta Kostyuk in the first round against Arina Sabalenka did not deserve to be booed off the court by that crowd. That was not a good look. Daria Kasatkina lost today to Alina Svitolina. There was no handshake there either because Svitolina is Ukrainian, Kasatkina is Russian. The crowd booed and whistled Daria Kasatkina as well. It's like they're not, I can't tell if they're not aware that there's no handshake going to happen or if they're just booing for another reason. But there's never going to be a handshake between a Ukrainian and a Russian player right now.
It's not happening.
Or a Belarusian player right now either.
That's not happening. It's not happening. I don't know. I think they just want to do something. They boo because they want to cheer.
The crowd does like to be involved. They do like to be involved.
Derek Jeter famously said, they boo because they want to cheer.
Yeah.
They boo because they want to cheer.
There has been a lot that the French crowd has been cheering about in the tournament. None more than Gael Monfils and his first round match. Incredible comeback from love 4 down in the 5th set to win in the end. He had to withdraw from the tournament after that match because he aggravated a wrist injury. So, and sadly, we didn't get to see that continue. But they've sort of transferred their support of Gael onto his wife, Alina Svitolina, who is in the quarterfinals. I can't believe I'm saying that. They had a baby.
Yeah, after having a baby, yeah.
Yeah. They had a baby. She came back in April. Was her first tournament was Charleston right after Miami. And she won Strasbourg last week. And here she is in the quarterfinals of the Grand Slam again. It's really surprising, but I'm really pleased for her because Alina's been one of my favorite players for a while. And I'm glad to see her back and doing well.
I am too. Shout out to her and Gael Monfils. You know what, guys?
Yeah.
They get the LGR applause.
Absolutely.
All right. Moving on. Another match. I think me and you watched the tail end of this match. Frances Tiafoe and Sasha Zverev. Zverev wins in 5 sets. No, 4 sets. 4 sets. Tiafoe, he messed up at the end. There are a couple of moments where his brain, I think,
he did.
Shut down. He should have been Sasha.
Frances Tiafoe, I believe, had a quote, and correct me if I'm remembering the wrong player here, where he said, when it comes to the clay court season, he wakes up every day and thinks about how long it is until the grass court season because he doesn't like playing on clay. This was his greatest ever result at Roland Garros. He made it to the 3rd round. He played really, really well in this match. I think he probably deserved to take it to a 5th set. But I you can't say that Zverev wasn't a worthy winner either. He's advanced to the fourth round for the 6th straight year. He's on the road trying to get to his 3rd straight RG semifinal. It was a good match. It was a really good match. I think that France has started to turn a corner on clay and his play on the surface. But yeah, he probably should have won that match.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. No,
won that 4th set.
No, I think you should have won that 4th set. I'm not saying oh, Sasha's I wasn't trying to imply that.
Yeah.
I just think Francis should have won the match because it's called, our friend ASG doesn't like this word, but it exists. It's called momentum. It's called the energy behind you. You play better, you feel better. And there's just moments where, you like in tennis, it's a really mental sport. Like that 90% mental, 10% physical type thing. This is the true definition of that sport because you can mentally shut down somebody in a game where you beat them and then they're like, oh, and then stuff just goes wrong. It happens to Maria Sakkari a bit often where one thing goes wrong, then another thing goes wrong, then another thing goes wrong. Then they just aced you and then they did it again. And then the shot you thought was going to be a winner isn't a winner because they returned it. And then you go wide on your shot and it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs, but you have to make it happen. I think there's moments where Francis could have made it happen and he didn't make it happen. That one time where he jumps up and he like tries to do this and he just misses the ball. He just whiffs it. He just whiffs the ball. He didn't jump.
That was a bad one.
He didn't jump high enough, whatever. He just whiffs it. That should have been a point. Easy. Because here's the thing about that. Sasha Zverev was stuck in that corner.
That was on break points as well, I believe.
Yeah, he would have won the set, I think. So it would have been, I think he would have won that game.
Won the game.
Yeah. And he would have gotten that point easy because Sasha was pinned in the corner on the opposite. You know what? Every time I talk about you got to pin him in the corner. Got to pin him in the corner. And then, you pin him in the corner. So when they return it, they can't return it far enough. It goes into the net. Or you go cross court, other corner, and you get them. I know some tennis guys. I know some tennis. You know what I mean? I don't. It's fine. But yeah, he pinned him in the corner. Perfect. And he just whiffs it. And it wasn't even hit hard, Adelia. It just floats over and he whiffs it. And I think that's when Francis was like, bruh, really? Like, really? God, I hate clay. And that's why I think, he had no chance of winning this match. I wanted him to win, but there was that moment like, if he doesn't win this match, that's the thing that broke him mentally right there. That's right there.
Yeah.
Because it was easy money, Adelia. Easy money. Floater, didn't jump high enough, and he just whiffs it. Just whiffs it. It was kind of sad. It was kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk for a moment about Carlos Alcaraz, who at times has looked a little shaky. He's lost the set to Taro Daniel, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Came out today and faced Lorenzo Musetti, who was the 17th seed. He's a top 20 player in the world, and he just blitzed him. Musetti broke to open the match, and then I don't think it was close again after that.
Yep, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2.
6-3, 6-2, 6-2. It wasn't even that close. I watched that match today. It was phenomenal performance from Carlitos, as he apparently likes to be called, because the commentators were saying, there was commentary on this match, the commentators were saying he thinks being called Carlos means he's going to be scolded. So he likes being called Carlitos because he doesn't think he's in trouble.
Yeah. Carlos, come here. I understand.
Yeah.
Hey man, speaking of those announcers, can we talk about during the Sasha Zverev match? I was talking about this.
Oh, Mary Carrillo.
Yeah, Mary Carrillo. That guy was like, all right, guys, let me tell you the story about how Sasha Zverev is not a good person. Let me tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't root for this dude, even though you're rooting for this dude. This man is not a good person. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, domestic violence allegations. Threw a hissy fit on the court. Threw another hissy fit on the court. Got into a fight with somebody else. I'm just like, hey, yo, man, damn, it's crazy. Someone actually talking about this on air, and then he's saying it, and Adelia, it's just him talking. It's just Mary
Carrillo.
Yeah, and like no, he's the other. It was a 3-person booth. It was some other guy, Mary
Stan
Carrillo,
Hicks, John McEnroe, and
John
Mary
McEnroe.
Carrillo.
So Stan Hicks and John McEnroe are just like sitting there saying nothing, just nothing. And Carrillo's just Carrillo is just he's rattling off Zverev's misdeeds like you're naming off somebody's awards. They're a 3-time world champion. They're a 7-time like he's just like domestic violence.
Yeah, she did that. She definitely did that. She does that though. She was doing that during the Sabalenka match as well, because that was another one that was on Peacock.
Wait.
And she was
Marie Carrillo's a woman?
Mary Carrillo? Yes, Mary Carrillo is a woman.
No, this person sounds like a dude.
No, Mary Carrillo is a woman.
I swear that was a man.
No, that's definitely Mary Carrillo, and
the voice. A woman. Okay, all right.
She has a deeper toned voice.
Okay,
sure.
All right. Sorry, I deeply apologize. I'm sorry, but yeah, it was just like
on the Sabalenka and Sloane Stevens match today. She was like, "You may notice that next to Arena Sabalenka's name, there is a blank flag. Let me explain to you everything that is going on right now."
Let me explain all the horrible shit going on right now, people. There's a war going on, and she's Belarusian, and no one likes her.
Yeah, pretty much. Arena Sabalenka has been in the wars with the media ever since her first match here.
Oh yeah. Apparently a Ukrainian journalist asked her that question. She's like, "I have no comment for you." It's like, what do you mean you have no comment for me? I've seen you with the president of Belarus. What do you mean you have no comment? And she's like, I have no comments. And then the moderator's like,
she has also been asked that question numerous times. I will get to say that. So she's I think annoyed. Not ready to not talk about it anymore. But like, unfortunately, because of the situation going on in Ukraine and Russia and Belarus's parts in it, she's gonna keep getting asked that questions. She skipped a press conference because she didn't feel safe, she said in the press conference the round prior. It's kind of a mess. It's all a mess, and it's a mess caused by a war that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, but it's not a mess.
What?
Me and yours attire.
Yeah,
it's not a mess. Adelia, you have a phenomenal jacket.
Thank you. You have a wonderful shirt.
I do. Thank you very much. Where can we get these phenomenal attire?
Store.letsgetreadynetwork.com. Like Justin was saying in the little video we played. We've got all the different shows up on there. Merch. You can buy shirts, hats, mugs, stickers. It's a great way to support us.
All right, guys. Yep. But it's also very supportive of people disqualifying doubles teams that hit people in the face. That's extremely supportive of the ball people. Adelia, what happened?
Here's what I will say about this. Okay, so I'll just recap real quick. Miyu Kato, and I believe her name is Adelia Sajati. I have never heard her name pronounced, so I can't say that I pronounced that right at all. I probably butchered it.
Join the club.
They were disqualified from the French Open today after Kato struck a ball girl with a ball during their third round doubles match. They were down a set to Marie Buskova and Sarah Sorribes Tormo, but up 3-1 in the second when Kato sent the ball to the opposite end of the court between points, hitting the ball girl and leaving her in distress. The chair umpire, Alexandra Juge, gave Kato a warning before. This is the part that's really bothering me about this. Buskova and Sorribes Tormo on the other side of the net then asked for them to be disqualified. And the chair umpire had said, no, she didn't do it on purpose. The ball girl didn't get injured. They then said, Sorribes Tormo then said, she didn't do it on purpose. She's crying. referring to the ball girl. And she has blood, Buskova added, prompting the umpire to go see the ball girl, who was, as we just aforementioned, sobbing. The chair umpire spoke to the girl, and the tournament referee and supervisor went to court 14 to look into what happened. Then they had a lengthy conversation, and then chair umpire went back to his chair and announced the end of the match with the disqualification of Kato and her teammate. Kato had apologized and was in tears as she left the court. She later tweeted out, "I would like to sincerely apologize to the ball girl, my partner Adelia and team, and my supporters because of today's unfortunate mishap. It was completely unintentional. As a result, I am penalized by RG by forfeiting my prize money and points. I appreciate all your continued support." Fares, you and I have had many conversations on this show over the course of it about being careful where you hit the ball. Djokovic has been disqualified in recent years for hitting a ball straight into the throat of a lineswoman. This was a complete accident from all sounds of it. She tried to hit the ball down the court for the next point, and it just went wayward and struck the ball girl. I was having a conversation with Ryan in our Discord about this. Discord, you can join by being one of our patrons.
$1.
Ryan and I kind of came to the same, we sort of had the same thought, which was you can't not disqualify them from the tournament because this is a disqualifiable offense. But this isn't the same thing as, say, Djokovic, who wasn't looking where he flicked that ball that hit the lineswoman in the throat. Or Lorenzo Musetti, even, who today came close to being disqualified from the match because he smashed the ball and it hit the roof at Philip Chatrier Court and came back and almost hit someone in the crowd. It's unfortunate that this happened. So many people have been on Twitter saying you shouldn't have disqualified them for this. It was an accident. But if you don't take a hardline stance of anytime this happens, somebody's got to get disqualified, then you're not going to be treating players fairly, I think, and people are going to argue that when somebody deservedly gets disqualified for something done in anger, that might not necessarily have been an accident like this one, they're going to say, well, I didn't deserve to be disqualified. You didn't disqualify them for the same thing. So I think it has to be a hardline stance across the board. You can't do this. What do you think?
I agree. You got to disqualify them. Because one, you hit it hard enough for it to smack a girl in the face and make her bleed, accident or not, you hit it hard enough. If you like, if you know, like how you kind of just like hit it over like that way, they kind of just like boop it up. That doesn't have the velocity to do damage to somebody's face. So you hit it like this. You hit it like this. I see it all the time where people are just smacking the ball, just like smacking it. I'm like, you have to watch where you're doing. There are ball kids on the court. There are people on the court. There's the lines part, there's the judge, there's the ball kids. There are people on the court. You just can't just keep hitting the ball. You hit it with enough velocity to do damage. You hit her in the face. There was blood and she was crying. You did damage. You didn't hit it like this gingerly over the net. You didn't just tap it. You hit it. Accident or not, you hit it. You deserve to be disqualified.
Yeah. I've seen people say, okay, well, disqualify him for this, because you have to, but don't take away their prize money. But you have to do that too, because otherwise...
That's the rule.
That's the rule.
That's the rule.
Like, you have to follow the letter of the law here, even if the intent in the incident isn't the same as it has been for other people who have been disqualified from matches. Even
though, you know what? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You've been on tennis courts probably most of your life, because some of these people start since they were 12. You can't just be hitting the ball left and right, accident or not. I don't care if you're like, oh, it was an accident. I don't care. Use your wherewithal. Use your common sense. Don't be just hitting the ball after a point, like just smacking it around. You tap the ball, tap it over, you're good. But you hit it hard enough that you did damage to a girl. You didn't just tap the ball. You didn't I just tapped it over. Like, no, you didn't. Because I've just tapped the ball over the net and it does no damage. You could just tap it over the net and give them, and be like, hey, here's the ball, and you would have done damage. Sorry, whatever. You got disqualified because you know what? You got pretty much, you know what these rules are, Adelia, about the disqualifications? They don't disqualify you for because of the action. They disqualify you because you're stupid. Like, look how stupid you are. This is preventable. It's completely preventable. And you still did it. You were disqualifying you because you're dumb. Because you're dumb. That's why.
If now there have been plenty of times when a ball kid or someone else on court has been hit by a ball in an accidental situation, but they weren't injured. That's sometimes not a default. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. This one, the fact that it drew blood, that's an automatic default.
Like, I think that was the key.
They had to.
When they saw the blood, they were like, yep, time to go. But also, too, like that, sometimes the defaults, like, no, you should default them. Why are you hitting the kids? Why are you doing stuff that hits the kids? If the kids get in the way, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing. If they get hit within a point, that's also another thing. If you get hit in play, in
play is different because like you can try to get out of the way and you can't.
Yeah. Because they're hitting the ball very quickly.
Out of the way.
Yeah, it's very so like getting hit in play, that's different. If the kid accidentally runs where he they shouldn't have ran, they misjudge and they get hit. Okay. But it's in between points and you just smacking the ball around.
Yeah. I will say there were a number of people on Twitter also saying that this is the ball girl's fault. This is not the ball girl's fault.
She's
this
just
is
doing
no way the ball girl's fault.
She was just
the
standing
ball
there.
girl was concentrating on getting balls to Buskova and Sorribes Tormo for the next point. She had her balls in her hands. She didn't have the time to catch the ball. People were saying she could have just dropped those balls and caught this ball while she was concentrating on what she was supposed to be doing. She didn't. Yeah. So no.
Yeah, no. Whoever's saying that is stupid. Just dumb. Just dumb. All right. Moving on. Adelia, what's up?
Fares. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say the top male Americans, Jess Pegula, Taylor Fritz, and Francis Tiafoe Corda, if you think about it as well. Have all been bounced. I don't think there is no more Americans in the draw. All the Americans are gone.
I think there is. Hang on, let me double check. You keep talking.
But I was gonna say, like, same with the French, they're also out. So because I think the Americans are also out.
I think Bernarda Pera is still in the women's draw.
Bernarda Pera, yes.
She's Monday.
Yes. I thought
yes, she plays Ange Jabeur.
Oh, that's
in the fourth round tomorrow.
All right.
Coco Gauff also still in.
Oh, Coco Gauff, yes. Coco Gauff. I'm so sorry, Coco. Find out that Coco is not her real name.
No.
Forgot what her real name was.
Corey,
yes. Corey. Shout out to you, Coco. But yeah, we have a couple of other round 4 results. Marina Sabalenka defeats American Sloane Stephens 7-6, 6-4. Crazy match this because Marina Sabalenka goes up 5 bagel in the first set.
5 love. She was
5
up 5
love. 5 love. It's 6 with the bagel. Sorry. 5 love. Yeah. And then proceeds to lose 5 straight. So we went 5-5, but then we went to tiebreak and she wins 7-6. That was a weird instance, Adelia. Do you think the outsideness of the tournament is affecting her in some aspects? Because
I think Sloane started playing better.
Okay.
The crowd kind of got behind Sloane when she went down 5 5 love and
former French Open champion Sloane Stephens, I believe.
Finalist, not champion.
Finalist. No, she didn't win. All right.
No,
What did she win?
She won the U.S. Open.
That was it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shout out to Josie Altidore.
He was there.
Josie?
He played for the New England Revolution yesterday, got on a plane, flew to Paris, and was there.
Shout out to Josie. Josie,
Yeah.
first striker I ever fell in love with.
But yeah, I think Arena hit an off patch there to get back to 5-5 and then into the tiebreak in that first set. She went up a break in the second set, came back even before finally breaking to win the match. But I'm not too worried about Arena yet. But
Okay.
let me see who her next opponent is. She's got Alina Svitolina in the quarterfinals, which will be difficult match. We've talked about the Ukrainian versus Russian and Belarusian thing. Alina Svitolina is playing really, really well.
Talk about that, Adelia. Talk about it. We talked about it earlier. She was pregnant. She came back. She's now going to be in the semifinals, the quarterfinals. Sorry, the quarterfinals against Arina Sabalenka. Do you think she has a path to victory here?
I think Alina Svitolina, when she's on her game, can beat someone like Arina Sabalenka. Absolutely. Will it happen? I don't know that Alina's got enough match toughness yet to be able to do so. But I'm really looking forward to that match. It should be really good. So. And then the other quarterfinal we have set is Karolina Mukova versus Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. They both won today. We talked about those matches briefly earlier. Karolina Mukova beat Alina Avanesian. I don't know how to say her last name properly either.
Avanesian?
Yeah, she is a lucky loser who made it into the draw, I believe, and has just gone on one hell of a run. So congratulations to her for making it that far. And yeah, that's the women's results of the day. Men's results, I mentioned Carlos Alcaraz destroying Lorenzo Musetti. Novak Djokovic, identical scorelines with Carlos Alcaraz beating Pablo Barrios. Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz are one match win away from meeting in the semifinals.
We also
Carlos has to get past Stefanos Tsitsipas in the next round. He beat Sebastian Offner in straight sets. And then Karen Hashinoff beat Lorenzo Sonego and will play Novak Djokovic in the next round, in the quarters.
I want to see if the man I am watching got bounced. No, he's still there. He's still there.
Okay.
He's playing tomorrow. Yes, Holger Rune. Holger Rune is still in. Holger Rune famously said, I can beat Novak Djokovic. I know I can beat Novak Djokovic. It's the man. Holger Rune,
against Francisco Cerundolo tomorrow. And then we also have Casper Ruud against Nicholas Jarry. Nicholas Jarry in the fourth round. Interesting. Rune versus Ruud in the quarters if they both win tomorrow. Grigor Dimitrov's playing Alexander Zverev. That's going to be a good one. And then the bottom half of the draw, that bottom section is just going to completely destroyed as far as the seeded players go, with other players winning and everything. We've got the 27th seed Yoshihito Nishioka from Japan playing Tomas Martin Echeverry of Argentina, which should be an interesting match. I don't know too much about either one of those players.
Yeah, so the Tuesday matchups. Now we're kind of previewing ahead. Round 4. Round 5. Quarterfinals, which is round 5. Both at 3 a.m. in the morning. I don't appreciate that. That's not cool.
That's Pacific time.
Yeah, specific time. Yeah, exactly. So you get 6 a.m. I have to get 3 a.m. It's not.
I get 5 a.m.
Yeah, I forgot you Central. My bad. Sorry. Alcaraz, Tsitsipas, and Djokovic hashing off at the same time. Same damn time. That's fine. And then what's up?
The order plays out for that already?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I see it. I see it right here.
Okay, well, I'm looking. Keep going.
Unless I'm on Google.
Oh, well,
It's good.
I think those are just listed. I don't think that's the order of play because the
Oh.
order of play is only out for tomorrow.
Okay. So I was incorrect.
They're not going to have those matches be the first matches on court, basically.
Okay. That's what I thought. It would have been weird.
And they're definitely not going to be happening at the same time because that would require them both to be off center court, and the quarterfinals would be on center court.
All right, so Google needs to update their stuff. Dang it, Google.
Yeah.
Made me look dumb on podcast. But you know who's making people look dumb on the court? But she also wants to be respectful of them off the court. Is the owner of the bakery, Iga Swiatek.
She does not like that joke.
She doesn't. I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. I want to talk about it. She wants to be respectful. She knows those matches are very hard for her opponent and for her because she wants to beat you 6-0. She wants to. But she doesn't want you to be mad at her for wanting it. So she's very reserved about it. She enjoys the bagels, but she doesn't want to bring it. She doesn't want to keep talking about it all the time because some people gonna get mad at her and be like, "Yo, man, sip it about your bakery, man." You know what I mean? Even though she operates a bakery, all the bagels all the time. But she said we can talk about it, we can bring it up. She won't ever talk about it because she wants to be respectful. How do you think that plays, Adelia, to the fans and her fellow competitors? Iga Swiatek saying, "I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to say it, but I ain't going to stop you." What do you think?
I think she knows that even if she tried to stop everyone from saying it, she can't.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just doesn't want to talk about it in press because, it seems to me that there's been someone in every single one of her press conferences at the French Open so far that has been like, "Hey, how about you talk about the fact that you're bageling everyone so much?" And I mean, looking back through her results here, she's had 4 of her 6 sets that she's played so far in this tournament have been bagels.
Damn.
Including a double bagel in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
So, Iga strikes me as the type of person who doesn't want to cause problems for anyone with something that she says in a press conference.
Mm-hmm.
She has to know that people are going to still talk about the bakery on Twitter and everywhere else. But I totally get her not wanting to talk about it.
Do you think Tarasenko has a shot?
Sharenko? No.
Oh, Sharenko? I thought it was Tarasenko. Yeah. My bad.
No, it's Sharenko.
Oh.
Lesia Sharenko. And another one of the Ukrainian players. No, I don't think Lesia has a shot.
There will be a handshake.
There will be a handshake in that one, for sure. But
Sharenko did beat Canadian former U.S. Open champion Bianca Andreescu. So 6-1, 6-1, which was a good performance actually.
It was a great performance.
But Iga Swiatek is just a machine. She's just a machine, and they're coming, Adelia. 3 women of the apocalypse. They're coming, and there's nothing to stop them. And it's gonna be.
I think it's kind of interesting, and we haven't seen this 100% for certain yet, but I think we're trending in that direction where we're going to end up with a big 3 in women's tennis of Iga, Arena, and Elena Rybakina, and we're going to have a what?
Sorry, no, you froze up. I didn't know what you said.
Oh. I said I think it's funny that we're going to be getting a big 3 of Elena Rybakina, Iga Swiatek, and Arina Sabalenka in the
women's side.
And the men's side, once Rafa and Novak are retired, looks like it could be wide open. Like Carlos has been the one from the next generations that stepped up and won something so far, but there's a bunch of guys over there that could do that. Where it's looking like on the women's side, it's pretty concentrated on a few, just the big 3.
I think it did. I think it's gonna flip. You know how Serena Williams won most of the majors. It was one woman. You know what I mean? It was like one woman and the occasional random woman.
Yeah.
that happens. I think it's gonna flip. I think when Novak and Rafa finally go, the only male tennis player I'm like, you got the juice, is Carlos Alcaraz. And I think he's gonna become Serena, not like be as great as Serena. He's gonna become Serena as in like the one person show on the male side. On the women's side, you got the big three, Rafa, Joker, Roger.
Yeah.
And those, so it's gonna the paradigm is gonna flip. Like the men had three people to rotate. The women had Serena and then the occasional random lady that was great, but who's the best was. It was Serena. Now it's gonna be flipped in that you're gonna have the three women rotate, and there's gonna be groups of like Sabalenka, Swiatek, Rybakina, and they're all gonna hate each other and love each other, but hate each other. Mostly hate each other. And then you're gonna have on the male side the occasional random dude's gonna win a major, right? But then Carlos Alcaraz is gonna win like 2 out of the 4 or 3 out of the 4.
I don't think Alcaraz is going to dominate like that.
You don't think so?
No.
But
I think
the dudes, give you the juice.
I think that you will find that when it gets to the latter stages of these tournaments, those young guys have all ran into Federer when he was still around, Rafa, or Novak. And that once those three guys are out of the way and retired and not part of this anymore, it's going to free everybody up.
But Adelia, why? His thing. I get that, right? I get that. But these three dudes were on their last legs. Why didn't one of the young guys take them out?
Because there's still those three dudes.
That's a great retort.
Medvedev beat Djokovic, and I think Medvedev's capable of beating Djokovic on any day when he's playing at his best.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still Djokovic. And Rafa's still Rafa. There's still that air of immortality about them, if you will.
Yeah. Also, too, Medvedev needs to not lose to random Brazilian kids in the first round.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, that would help. How about you go practice on clay, dog? Yeah. Sheesh. Not very good on. He's Roger Federer. He's not very good on clay. Which is
Federer was very good on clay.
Oh, Rafa was just better than him?
Rafa just always got the better of him at Roland Garros.
Good point.
All right. Before we wrap this up, Fares,
right.
I want to bring up this stat that I saw on Twitter today, which is just insane. Novak Djokovic winning today made his quarterfinals at Roland Garros. He, once again, he now has more Roland Garros quarterfinals than Rafa does. And Rafa has more Australian Open quarterfinals than Novak does.
But
they are the best players at the respective tournaments, just swapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. Because so Djokovic has been there 17 times in the quarterfinals, but only 4 of them have resulted in titles?
Novak has won the Roland Garros twice.
But so only 2 of them have resulted in titles.
Yeah. Rafa's made it to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open, I think 14 times is what that said. And he's won Australia twice.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So how many quarterfinals did Rafa go at Roland Garros? What, 16?
14. I don't know. It might be 15. I don't know that Rafa's made it to the quarterfinals at Roland Garros and not lost. I'd have to think about that for a minute.
Because the stat right here shows.
Yeah.
So Djokovic. Okay, wait. Now he has more quarterfinals than Rafa. Now.
Yes. Okay. So it's 16. He had 16.
So it's 16. Then. So 2 times Rafa's made it to the quarterfinals twice, and twice didn't result in championships.
Yeah.
All right. And then Novak's case, it's 13 quarterfinals appearances. No, it's not. No, it is 13 because Rafa has 14, so it's 13.
It isn't. Let me see how many. Novak has at least 10 quarterfinals in Australia. I don't know exactly how many quarterfinals.
No, Adelia, it was semifinals. He had 10 semifinals appearances, and 10 of the semifinals appearances resulted in titles.
Right.
So his,
but I don't think he's ever not made it to the quarters and not made it to the semis. I'm not sure about that though.
yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't care about how many Australian Open quarterfinals Novak has. I just thought the stat was really weird.
It's really weird.
And
It's
speaking of Rafa, send out our best wishes to Rafa. He had hip surgery. He's expected to miss at least 5 more months. Just take the rest of the year off. Come back next year and have a fond farewell to tennis, which I will find incredibly sad, most likely.
And happy birthday.
And happy birthday.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Rafa. But on that note, everybody, I'm Fares Muthana. You can find me at Fares Muthana on Twitter. And on this channel, every Friday, 3 o'clock, Good Friends, Better Rivals, where we talk American football, as well as I show up on other shows. I showed up on Starting 11 the past 2 weeks, because apparently, I have semi-valid world football opinions. I don't believe I do, but it is what it is. Serie A ended today actually. I also, when I have time, will show up on the hockey show if I have time ever. I've never actually showed up on that show. I need to do a trifecta.
No, you do.
Yeah, so I may show up on that one.
You have been on the hockey show, by the way.
Yeah.
You were on the second ever episode of the hockey show.
Yes. No.
And that hockey show is called Playoff Beards.
Yes, Playoff Beards. New episode coming out.
New episode coming out. Stanley Cup Finals started yesterday, so we'll have an episode recapping the Stanley Cup Finals coming soon.
No idea. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Adelia Chambo. You can find me on Twitch later tonight doing with Brandy doing watch-alongs of the NBA Finals where my Denver Nuggets are hopefully going to win their first championship. They can't win it tonight, but I'll be on Twitch tonight for that. And for every other game of the NBA Finals. Starting 11 is over for the season. But you can go back and watch the season 1 finale of Starting 11. That's on the channel now. And I don't know what else I'll be appearing on soon, but I'll be around.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining our show. Guys, every week I say this. We're not experts. We don't know the technical points of tennis. We enjoyed watching it. We're fans. We love the rackets hitting the ball. The screams of exuberance, the screams of agony. The disbelief on a shot, silence over the crowd, the anger players feel in the moment. We're fans. That's what we are. We're fans. Thank you guys so much for joining our journey, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.